though.
17th of May.
Oh, Algeria too.
1839. My hands tremble as I write. I feel a need to document my tribulation, for I fear that my memory will fail me if I linger.
That's actually
Today,
pretty good writing.
I took some men and ventured into the dark, ancient passage we uncovered. Our torches burned faintly in the murky air as we slowly made our way underground. The men were superstitious and fearful. They argued loudly, and I felt their strange language getting to me. I mustered my strength and yelled at them to continue down the slopes and broken steps. The
Jeez.
crudely carved passage confused me. It looked much older than the 4th century structure we had expected. The twisting path emerged into a great antechamber. The walls were lined with statues unlike any I'd ever seen. Despite their unearthly quality, I felt a strange familiarity toward them, which haunts me still. At the far end of the chamber, a great slab of stone sealed off whatever lay ahead. I gave the order to raise it, and as I pushed through the narrow space, the heavy stone suddenly dropped, sealing me inside. I was trapped.
This is actually phenomenal writing. So phenomenal, I'm gonna throw this quill! Alright. This boss. Oh no, I broke it! It was so old and glorious! That's not good for the resale value. Is it winter? What a view. It's a creepy looking hallway. Let's go this way first. There's a cap on this water bottle. Who's in here? Oh look. My plans to take over the world!
Much of the castle is old and hasn't been tended to for centuries. When the shadow arrives, it won't take long until things start falling apart.
Even more than
Just
now?
buying time anyway. Let's do what we can.
There isn't much to be done about the walls. We should reinforce weak structures. The ground will tremble and there's a risk everything will cave in on us, especially downstairs. Here, and there. Let's get the servants working on it.
The servants should really get down to it because this place is falling apart. Glad he didn't like that. My fault. That means the shadow's close? Is this Algeria 3? Oh gosh, we're collapsing. Oh, not another one.
17th of May, 1839. After pounding the unforgiving stone wall for what seemed like an eternity, I realized it was hopeless. I was trapped. I fell to the ground, gasping for air, trying to focus. That's when I saw a faint blue shimmer. My weakened body was heavy to carry, but I managed to push myself toward the enchanting light.
Oh, I'm supposed to do something. My fault. Listen, coming
It was
enchanting light.
waiting for me. Enclosed in dark nothingness, I felt myself drawn to the mystic light.
Ah, you thought? It's actually getting harder. It's actually drawing me to it. No! Ah!
I reached out, closing it in my hands. The faint glow escaped my fingers and began to spark brightly and spirit me away, unlocking alien memories of spiraling towers, endless deserts, and impossible geometry. The
found the
next thing
secret
I
of
can
light.
remember is the grating sound of stone being lifted, the voices of the Arabs pulling me to safety, and grasped firmly in my hands was the broken pieces of a most peculiar relic.
I wonder what kind of relic it was. Kingdom of Prussia. Oh, look at this for all the cartographers. South Prussia, Netz District, Cumberland, Russia, East Russia, Old Mark, Borussia. You guys remember Borussia? You guys remember Borussia Meridionalis? Do you guys remember that? Another quill. Brr. Fragile but not breakable by hand. I know exactly what to do. Oh, fuck. Okay. Brr. Yo, part of me didn't think that was gonna work.
You have to be swift when you activate the first one. You hear that? If it stops, you'll have to start over.
Isn't all this a bit excessive?
You can never be too careful, Daniel.
Is that the Declaration of Independence? Let's steal it. Local folklore. Altstadt and Brennenburg Castle, 1801. Another region rich with its lore is Altstadt, deep within the East Prussian woods. For centuries, there have been stories surrounding the hamlet and its neighborhood, Castle Brennenburg. The quiet forest-clad mountains dressed with scattered lakes is as picturesque as it can be, albeit the area is haunted by the dark. Ask any local and you will hear proof of the widespread superstition. All travelers should indulge themselves in such conversations, since it will certainly serve as exciting entertainment. All of them have their own twists on the tales, but there are some motifs that keep reappearing. What's this? Never mind. This story reaches all the way back to the time of the 30 Years' War. It is said that the soldiers who abandoned their duty got lost in the cold, dark woods and were forever damned to roam the grounds. Their bodies, wrought by their tainted souls, have left them disfigured and empty of essence. Many have cited them over the years and described them as horrid revenants. They move silently through the woods, shying from any beholder. They are called gatherers, as they seem to follow some ambition to steal living creatures. It is their prey which can be heard struggling inside damp burlap sacks dragged behind them, which reveal their presence. What dark scheme do they follow? Heinrich Cornelius Agrippa, the well-known erudite, visited Altstadt at the start of the 16th century. He resided in the local inn for a fortnight as he looked for remnants of kingdoms past. During his stay, all of the prominent members of society paid notice, and he is mentioned in many records of the time. One day, he went to investigate a burrow in the northwestern glades, only to never be seen again. Heinrich is known to have passed away in Grenoble some 10 years later. He dismissed the notion of ever visiting Altstadt, which makes you wonder what really happened. Was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods what happened to him? Who was this mysterious man who visited the sleepy hamlet in the woods and what happened to him? Jeez, learn to read, brother. The Baron of Brennenburg lives in a reclusive life with his family at his castle near Altstadt, and like most of those noble birth rumors are inherited alongside with the title. Researching the history reveals little before the castle was consumed by fire in the late 16th century. It was rebuilt by Alexander, a nobleman from the Rhinelands, claiming the role as protector of the Prussian state. Alexander helped the region to flourish and remained popular throughout his presumed lifetime. The family has always been secretive when it comes to lineage and heritage. Therefore, the birth and death of Alexander and his offspring have never been fully recorded. This has fed the idea that the Baron is in fact the one and the same who came from the west over 300 years ago, lived through the time of occupation, and joined the coveted Order of the Black Eagle along with the great leaders of the country. What a long Declaration of Independence that was. Jeez. Know what you're stealing beforehand. Dang, we burned up a lot of oil, but let's go. Oh, we found the key. Wine cellar key. Oh no. We gotta get out of here. Another note. Regarding closing of the wine cellar. Alright, now this thing is about to try and convince me not to go to the wine cellar, but we already decided we were going to the wine cellar. Don't try and talk me out of it now. Wilhelm and his fools have endangered my research long enough with their absent-minded handling of the human vessels. The sheriff is keeping a watchful eye on the forest and is killing my trusty servants. It's just a matter of time until they follow the trail to Brennenburg. I need to lock Wilhelm and his men up to avoid further investigation from the public. The wine cellar will therefore be sealed off until the matter has been handled. Either the king's men leave or they will starve. Whatever comes first, they can rot for all I care. Maybe I will feed them some wine. It would, in a sense, solve both of my problems. Let's go to the wine cellar now, boys. Doko desu ka? Does this go to Narnia? Narnia! I guess not. Get him some lip. Oh! Where did I get shanked from? What just happened? What is that? Salavinaria. This is where we were supposed to go. Use the key on the door to unlock it. The desert dunes were like waves in a sluggish sea. While the caravan moved, the land appeared motionless, but in the camp, the hills moved. Beware, when standing in darkness, your sanity will drain. Turn on the lights! I need to find tinder boxes. Ah! Too many lights!
Who cares? He left us enough wine to last us a lifetime! Or at least until tomorrow!
If an enemy is near, stay out of sight and hide in the darkness. Make sure to turn off your lantern. We're sneaking because why would they just tell me that? Picked up orb piment. What the hell is orb piment? I definitely didn't shut that. BRB. Ah, yeah, no. No worries. No pressure. Alright, let's sneak. Because we don't know if anybody was in here. I said sneak, but I want to turn the light on because we're freaking out. What the hell is that?
What's happening? Oh, feels like my chest is going to burst.
That's some people meat.
My God, Wilhelm, do something!
Wilhelm!
Except we're not getting out of here.
Hug the candle like a moth. It's your only safety.
You piece of shit! Let us out of here!
Aqua Regia. Is that just water? Is that just a crazy way to say water? My name is Wilhelm, House of Garrick. These are my final words. My confession and testament. 2 years ago, I was summoned to the castle Brennenburg. As most of the aristocracy, I was curious about what the supposed knight of the order could want from me and accepted the invitation. The Baron was friendly and offered me a proposition. It dawned on me that the nature of the contract was sordid and that the reason I was chosen was because of the follies of my past and not the honors I've received during my time as a soldier. I was to kidnap healthy humans upon his slightest whim and to do so without asking questions. In return, he would attest to my character at the royal court, advancing my position within noble society. I would like to claim that I struggled with my decision, but it came swiftly and I accepted wholeheartedly. What is he, American? Ever since that day, I brought men, women, and children to Brennenburg. I can't remember the numbers, but there were many, perhaps even 100. none of whom were ever seen or heard from again. Tonight the Baron invited me and my men down to the wine cellar to celebrate our work. Oh, it's a trap! Be careful, it's a trap! I had my suspicions as we descended the stairs, but he insisted and joined us in a toast. It's like he's going to the Red Wedding and I know in advance. The wine tasted fine and my men drank without restraint. So begins the punishment for our sins. The Baron has locked us up and returned upstairs. Forgive me for what I have done. I was weak and fell into his diabolic ways. My men are screaming. Their skin has been pierced by their own tangled bones. I feel my insides revolt against their God-given nature. Blood has begun to pour from my eyes and I can no longer... It's like we just witnessed the Red Wedding. No. Ew, and I'm standing in... Don't worry, the wine will flow red and we'll put all of this behind us. Walter Frey. George R. R. Martin. Michael Scott. That looks like... Never mind. What's this game about? So, it doesn't really give you much context. The game is called Amnesia, so the whole purpose of the game is like you just wake up in this creepy castle and you don't remember what's going on. You don't know why you're here or anything. You don't even know who you are. All that happened in the start of the game was you just wake up, you're like, I'm Daniel. So all we know is we are Daniel. And the very first thing we found was a letter. And the letter said that we had to kill some old man who is feeble to break some curse or something. I don't know. It sounds pretty hardcore. I don't know why we had to kill him, but apparently he has a shadow that's trying to kill us. And when we're in the dark and there's no light, we start going insane. So, like, there's a timer, I guess. And if you don't find a light source in that amount of time, then you go crazy or you get attacked. So... while avoiding darkness and avoiding this shadow that we haven't seen yet, we have to find this old man. So that's where we're at right now. And other than that, we're just kind of like wandering around. It's pretty lit. Alright, I feel like the recap was a good spot to end this one. I actually did end up finding 3, count it, 3 of the 4 chemicals needed to move on to the next part. And I'm about to pull my hair out of my skull because I can't find the last one. I even switched to my lucky shirt. I'm kidding. This is like 2 days later. I'm just editing the video. Anyway, I'm going to hop on stream tonight to finish up and get a 3rd part to this series. I hope you're enjoying it so far. If you are, drop a like for me for the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.